In Florida, a partition is the legal process through which co-owners of property can divide their ownership interests. This becomes necessary if there's any disagreement among co-owners regarding how the property should be used or managed, or maybe if one owner of the property wants it sold and the other doesn't. We see this a lot after a probate where people inherit property together and just can't decide on what should be done with it. Or we also see a lot of times when non-married couples purchase property together and then have a falling out. So what happens, for example, let's say if John wants to be in the property but Mary wants it sold? Well, they're both co-owners, so what happens? Well, good news for those that want the property sold. Florida recognizes this fundamental right of any property owner to force the sale of a property that's co-owned. In other words, Florida law and the courts don't want you to be tied into a property or be in business with somebody essentially by holding a property that you don't want to be. So how does that work? Well, the moving party or the plaintiff, the petitioner, moves to file an action for a partition, identifying the property, typically identifying for single-family homes that it's not capable of division, and the court supervises that process. If no agreement is reached for the sale, then the court will appoint a special magistrate or a realtor to facilitate the sale. And then the sale proceeds are divided to the parties for their proportional ownership share. So for example, if you own it 50-50, then it would be an equal split of the assets. If there's 4 people that own it, it would be a quarter each. The nuance there is that if one person is paid the carrying costs associated with the property, and by that I mean taxes, insurance, and the other costs of upkeep for the property, then in the court proceeding for the partition, the court can award a reallocation of the equities or a reallocation of those expenses to make sure that it's fair and the right people get more of the sale proceeds for their expenses. So if you're stuck in a property that you'd like to sell, or maybe you're dealing with a partition filed by another party, we'd love to help you. My office litigates partition actions throughout our state, and we offer no obligation free consultations.